Luke, welcome to Northern Ireland. It's the first time you've be fighting outside of Australia, professionally. How does that feel? How exciting is that?
Well, look, like you said, it's the first time as a professional, but let's not forget, I had 113 amateur fights, and 80 of them were international. So, I've travelled my whole amateur career at the top level, representing Australia. So this is nothing new to me.
So you don't find it a daunting experience knowing that you'll be very much the away fighter?
Yeah. Look, that doesn't bother me. I fought at the Olympics at the highest level, World Championships, Commonwealth Games, and then obviously numerous international tournaments around the world. Look, I'm not worried about that. I've been there. I've prepared for it mentally, and we'll go out there and we'll just listen to my coach, and we're coming to win the fight, plain and simple.
And a stadium fight as well, at a national stadium.
Yep.
Must be really privileged to be fighting on this
of
card.
course. Like I've come from nothing, man. I'm not supposed to be in this position, but I've worked hard and I've stayed dedicated, and I believed in myself, and this opportunity has presented itself. So hard work pays off, man.
Carl Frampton's a huge name in boxing.
Massive.
What sort of status has he got in Australia?
Look, he's a massive name, and I respect Carl Frampton. I know what I'm up against, and look, I know they're overlooking me. I know that I've read a lot of reports, and but look, I've got nothing to lose. I think Carl Frampton is a very good fighter. I wouldn't say he's a great fighter. I don't think he does anything great. I think he does everything good, and fundamentally he's very sound. And look, I think stylistically it's a good matchup for me.
Did you watch his last fight with Nonito Donaire? He said he thinks it's his second most impressive win after his win over Leo Santa Cruz. Did you watch it? What did you make of that?
To be honest with you, I haven't watched much of it. I don't really watch. Look, I do watch boxing, but that's not a fight that I have watched. But look, I respect Carl. I watched his fight against Leo Santa Cruz, the first one and the second one. I thought he fought the wrong fight, the second fight. He was just trying too hard, and nothing worked for him. I've watched a few rounds of the Donaire fight, and Donaire is a very, very good fighter, but he's finished. He's not the Donaire that he once was. So a guy that knocked Donaire out, Nicholas Waters. I beat Waters in the amateurs. So not saying that I'm not saying I could beat Donaire, and I'm not saying anything like that. But you understand what I mean. Like, I've been in there with fighters that these guys have been in with, and amateur level, professional level, it's all boxing. You know what I mean? It's hit and not get hit, and I've fought some very good fighters as an amateur, and I'll be the first to say that as a pro, I haven't fought the guys that Carl Frampton has fought, obviously, but Carl Frampton hasn't done what I've done as an amateur, so he never represented his country at the Olympic Games. So.
You mentioned briefly that you thought maybe the Frampton team thought this was an easy fight, or an easier fight than they're making out. That it's potentially a stepping stone to a world title shot. Again, do you think that could work in your favour? Do you think you're being almost disrespected to a degree?
Yeah, look, disrespected, I wouldn't say that, but overlooked 100%. But that's not Carl's fault. Carl will fight anyone, just like I will. I get the same criticism on a smaller scale back in Australia. We fight in my hometown of Tasmania, Hobart. It doesn't matter who we fight there, they always criticise me. So I understand what Carl was going through right now, and it's not nice, but Carl just has to block that out and focus on me, because if he overlooks me, then he could lose. And he wanted a big name, I know that, but they're not available. And I'm ranked number 5 in the WBO. So that's something I've worked hard to get, and I think I deserve this opportunity.
And at the same time, while it's not the big name that a lot of the Northern Ireland fans over here would have been thinking of, you must still take great privilege in being the man chosen to play out this fight with Carl here.
Of course, it doesn't get any bigger. It doesn't get any bigger. And I heard a whisper, I don't know how true it is, that Valdez will be stripped and this will be for the full title. I heard that. Whether that's true or not, I'm not sure. But look, I'm excited, man. I've worked a lot to get here, bro. You know what I mean? Like 16 years I've been boxing. I started late at age of 19, and it's all about to come together for me. And if I beat Carl Frampton, then my life changes overnight. And it already has changed a little bit, but if it'll go to the next level.
What does that do for you then? Because as you say, if those rumours are true about Valdez, you'd be a world champion. You'd have come over here, beaten a huge boxing name. How does that elevate
Well,
you?
it changed my life, man, and changed my family's life, and that's what it's about. If I can give back to my family that have been there through thick and thin, my father mainly, it'd mean the world to me, and just my supporters, man, my team, Adam Wilcox, Michael Tamura, and Billy Hussain. We started this journey together, and we're at the pinnacle now. And it doesn't get much bigger than this. I mean, you could fight in Vegas and that, but I don't think that's going to be as good as this, honestly. Fighting Carl Frampton in his hometown of 20,000 screaming Irish, I don't think it gets any bigger than that.
Have you sort of pictured yourself winning here now you've been here and you can visualise what it's like?
Yeah.
Do you have an idea of, it's early days, but how you'll do it or what it will look like on the night?
Look, yeah, I mean, it's no surprise how I fight. I'm going to look to outbox Carl Frampton and keep him long, and I mean, he's smaller than me, and I'm going to look to outbox him and win a 12-round decision. If the knockout comes, it'll come, but I'm going to be going back to Australia, working with Billy, saying he's very confident that we can get this win, and I'll just listen to him. If he says go forward, go back, go left or right, I'll just listen.